LiberalViewer presents.
So starting last month when the Hollywood Foreign Press gave Woody Allen a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Golden Globes and continuing through the Academy Awards this weekend, there's been renewed interest in Dylan Farrow's childhood sexual molestation charges against Woody Allen from the 1990s, with a lot of coverage in the mainstream media, a lot of it pretty bad, including a segment I saw earlier this month on MSNBC's Morning Joe show that began harmlessly enough like this.
There are now new details in the allegations of child molestation against filmmaker Woody Allen. 28-year-old Dylan Farrow, the adoptive daughter of Allen and Mia Farrow, accused the filmmaker of molesting her more than 20 years ago, back in 1993. However, it wasn't until after Allen's recent award for Lifetime Achievement at the Golden Globes that Farrow felt compelled to speak out publicly in her own words. The New York Times columnist Nicholas Kristof published on his blog a letter she wrote about her allegations.
Now, so far so good. There wasn't any real bias there, and even though I'm criticizing this segment, it's not because of the way host Mika Brzezinski summarized Dylan Farrow's recent open letter reiterating her childhood accusations against Woody Allen in this clip.
In part, she wrote this: "What's your favorite Woody Allen movie? Before you answer, you should know when I was 7 years old, Woody Allen took me by the hand and led me into a dim, closet-like attic on the second floor of our house. He told me to lay on my stomach and play with my brother's electric train set. Then he sexually assaulted me."
And also, to be fair to MSNBC host Mika Brzezinski, she did spend about 20 seconds giving Woody Allen's side of the story here.
In publishing the letter, Kristof acknowledges that Allen was never prosecuted in this case and has consistently denied wrongdoing, saying he deserves the presumption of innocence. A representative for Woody Allen responded to Farrow's letter saying, quote, "Mr. Allen has read the article and found it untrue and disgraceful. He will be responding very soon."
So that was a pretty balanced beginning, but the segment then started to turn in a more biased direction, meaning biased against Woody Allen, when eponymous host Joe Scarborough gave the slanted version of the original investigation in this next clip.
The prosecutor at the time thought that there was evidence. There was concerns of what it would do to this young girl, taking her through the trial.
Now, what Joe Scarborough said there is true as far as it goes, but a prosecutor saying someone is probably guilty when dropping the case is pretty unethical, and what Joe Scarborough never mentioned there was that a panel investigated that prosecutor for the statement and found it a cause for grave concern, yet not only did no one on Morning Joe bring that up, co-host Mika Brzezinski actually repeated the one-sided information about the prosecutor after beginning her comment with two factual errors in this clip.
If you look at when he was 42, he dated a 17-year-old. He married his adoptive daughter, and his wife found out they were having an affair when the adoptive daughter was 19. I mean, how do you not look at this and question seriously? And the prosecutor in this case, as you mentioned, Joe, he said there wasn't the evidence, but that he suspected deeply that this had occurred. I mean, come on. Come on. Where there's smoke?
Where there's smoke? That's definitely not only slanted, but the reference to Soon-Yi Previn as Woody Allen's daughter was factually false, as was the reference to Mia Farrow as Woody Allen's wife, because Woody Allen never adopted Soon-Yi Previn and never married Mia Farrow, but that didn't stop co-host Mika Brzezinski from repeating the mistaken reference to Soon-Yi as Woody Allen's adopted daughter in her next comment here.
By the way, did you follow the coverage when it broke about him marrying his adoptive daughter? And,
yeah.
Okay. Did he ever say, "I understand that this seems terrible"?
No. No.
Okay.
Never did.
Well, but then let's just not pretend that there's an issue here. There's a big problem with this guy.
Now, I actually do think there's an issue with the guy dating his girlfriend's adopted daughter, though not as bad as dating his own adopted daughter as it was presented on MSNBC, but the next point, that somehow Woody Allen never recognized or addressed the issue, doesn't fit with my memory of the media scandal at the time, which included the Time magazine interview with Woody Allen that produced the most memorable line from the whole controversy: "The heart wants what it wants." And so Woody Allen did address the issue, though not to everyone's satisfaction, and I also understand how people don't know who to believe when it comes to Dylan Farrow's allegations. I just don't think the panelists on an MSNBC morning news show should be telling who they think should be believed, as Mika Brzezinski prompted them to do in this clip.
And is willing to share this with all of us.
Does anybody here not believe her?
I believe her.
I believe her. I'm never going to a Woody Allen movie again.
And traumatizes her entire life.
Now, Mika Brzezinski is entitled to believe what she wants, of course, but her presentation of this controversy on the MSNBC morning news show was nowhere near balanced and seemed to bring up some real issues for Mika Brzezinski, not even related to Woody Allen, at least so it would seem from this clip.
There are other people who are extremely well known who get away with this stuff too. But we'll talk about that another time.
Woody Allen has said that he will have a response, and we certainly will need to report that when that response comes.
That last-minute attempt to appear balanced from Joe Scarborough wasn't very convincing because, however you assess Dylan Farrow's allegations against Woody Allen, the way MSNBC presented the controversy there was anything but balanced, I think, but I want to know what you think, and there's a link to the entire MSNBC segment down in the video description. Was that MSNBC Morning Joe discussion heavily biased against Woody Allen? And given this happened decades ago with no charges ever filed, how do you think the news media should handle allegations like these?
YouTube, you decide.